watch this if you want to use hydroquinone or you want to use it again. Now, about 6 years ago, I did a video called The Truth About Hydroquinone, and I still get questions in regards to, should I layer hydroquinone with vitamin C or use it with retin A? Why did my age spots come back? Why are my acne scars getting darker? So today we're going to be talking about what it does, what it doesn't do, as well as for those of you who are still interested in using hydroquinone, you should use it correctly. So I have explained a 3-phase protocol on using hydroquinone. And if you are still having questions about hydroquinone that I didn't answer because there are so many different layers to it, I have included a hydroquinone playlist right here. Simply put, hydroquinone works because it blocks the tyrosinase enzyme, and you need that enzyme to turn tyrosine into melanin. So less tyrosinase activity, less pigment formation. And so this is why when you use it, your pigmentation fades after 4 to 8 weeks of use for most people. But here's where things change. See, your melanocytes that create the pigments, they're alive, they react, and they're responsive. They are not passive. So when you suppress them for too long, what can happen is once you stop that, or even sometimes even as you're using the hydroquinone for long periods of time, what can happen is now you've got rebound hyperpigmentation. So when normally under normal circumstances, when our skin is exposed to UV light, blue light, from hormonal triggers or inflammation, those normal circumstances, we're going to produce pigments anyways. But what happens is you have now rebound hyperpigmentation. So it comes back faster and it comes back darker. Now, this is especially true for Fitzpatrick skin types 3 through 6, but especially skin types 4 and 5. So you have to remember, your melanocytes are alive and they can only be suppressed for so long. So what do most people do as soon as they start to see that pigmentation come back? They reach and they grab that hydroquinone cream again, and the cycle starts all over where the hydroquinone cream blocks that tyrosinase and then the pigments start to fade. But the inflammation triggers were never figured out and never stopped, where that is the root of all hyperpigmentation. The common side effects of hydroquinone use, especially long-term hydroquinone use, is that their hyperpigmentation or acne scars actually appear to get darker when initially starting. There's an increase of dryness, flakiness, and increased photosensitivity. These are all common side effects. So yes, some of the topical medications that you may be using in order to treat hyperpigmentation, if it's used incorrectly or you use it too long, it can actually make your hyperpigmentation more stubborn, treatment resistant, and darker. The long-term effects of using hydroquinone cream is that it can thin the stratum corneum as well as disrupt barrier lipids. And this is why it's common to hear people that use it, that their skin is just perpetually dry all the time as long as that they're using hydroquinone, including tretinoin. Now, when you have, as everyone knows, a compromised skin barrier or it's impaired barrier function, then you have increased inflammation, increased sensitivity, and ultimately increased pigmentation. Now, I want to know from those of you who are watching in the comments, how many of you have gone to your dermatologist asking for something else, or this is drying out my skin, or my skin is becoming more sensitive. So this is where they'll take you off the hydroquinone and tell you to give you a break from it and then tell you to go back on. This is called cycling. Now, for some people, this can help, and other people, they notice that their hyperpigmentation doesn't respond as well to hydroquinone. And this is where the dermatologist may recommend a combination of hydroquinone, corticosteroids, as well as tretinoin, or some kind of different combination with that. So what happens a lot of times is their pigmentation not only comes back, but it doesn't seem to be as responsive to the hydroquinone, and their skin becomes even more sensitive. And this is where they're on the road to treatment-resistant hyperpigmentation. So please let me know in the comments what your experience was with hydroquinone. Hydroquinone warning for those of you who've been using it long-term, unsupervised, high percentages of the hydroquinone without cycling, you may develop a skin condition called exogenous acronosis. This is where your hyperpigmentation starts to turn this bluish gray color or a brownish black color that is resistant to hydroquinone treatment, and it may not be reversible. You have to remember, hydroquinone is a tool, not a cure. So if you don't address the triggers, such as the hormonal triggers, low-grade inflammation, oxidative damage, then the hyperpigmentation is just going to come back. That's why you need a strategy, not a bleaching cream. Okay, so for those of you who still want to use hydroquinone safely, here is the hydroquinone stacking strategy. Please remember that this is a very broad outline because it's not specific to your skin condition. It doesn't take into effect that you're taking medications or using other topical medications. So please remember that this is very general. Phase 1 is before you use the hydroquinone. This phase should last 2 to 4 weeks, a little bit longer if your skin is inflamed, it's broken out, or it is already extra dry, because using hydroquinone is going to increase sensitivity and increase dryness. So if you're already starting at a place where you have impaired skin barrier, dryness, or broken out skin, the results are not going to be positive, and you're not going to continue use. So the main goal of this stage or this phase is to strengthen your skin barrier, reduce inflammation. You can start out by doing this by using a pH cleanser for your skin type. If you're already using a cleanser that's kind of harsh, that has a lot of glycolic, salicylic acid, you want to discontinue that and just use a balancing cleanser or an oil control cleanser if you have oily skin. 2 is you want to increase that moisture. That moisture is going to help with your barrier. So you want to use things that increase the hydration levels of your skin. You never want to go to phase 2 if you are your skin is broken out, your skin is sensitive or dry. You also want to switch. If you're not using a 100% mineral-based sunscreen, you want to switch from a chemical sunscreen to a mineral sunscreen. Zinc oxide is naturally kind of drying, but it also is naturally anti-inflammatory, where chemical sunscreens can interact with hydroquinone and actually make your skin even more sensitive. Now, if your skin is already hydrated, your skin is not inflamed, and it's not broken out, we can continue to stage 2. Now, phase 2, this is where you actually use the hydroquinone. It's going to last about 8 to 12 weeks max. Do not go over this. This is where you do need some supervision to make sure that you're using it correctly. So the goal of this is pigment control, right? You're going to lighten the pigments. So in this stage, you do not want to over exfoliate, you do not want to neglect sunscreen, and you do not want to use right before or right after or combining different modalities such as laser, microneedling, microdermabrasion, red light therapy, laser, and then use hydroquinone. Sometimes I have heard my treatments, my clients, when they come to me and they say that they had a dermatologist have them do laser and then use hydroquinone. Do not do that, because your skin is already trying to repair itself, and by using hydroquinone, it can increase the dryness and inflammation. You need those lipid barriers to help repair your skin quickly. So depending, and you're going to use this at night. So when you use this at night, you only want to use it on the spot treatment. So whether it's age spots or acne scars. If it's patches, just use it on the patch only, unless you are already developing another patch next to that darkened patch. Let it completely dry. Make sure you use a barrier repair cream that has lipids, cholesterol, and ceramides to help restore what your skin is losing. The other one is during the day, make sure you use an antioxidant serum I will put a link in the description below with a vitamin C that actually helps repair impaired barrier function, where most vitamin C serums, especially when you're using it with a drying agent such as tretinoin or hydroquinone, can actually increase dryness and impair barrier function. So you have to be careful with that. So please make sure that you don't go over this time frame, and the moisturization is the most important. Do not exfoliate, wear lots of sunscreen, and do not mix and match modalities in this stage. This is the last phase, phase 3 of the hydroquinone, where you stop using it and we go into maintenance. Now, this is where you may not see your hyperpigmentation completely gone, but you still need to stop. And you're going to switch from hydroquinone to a combination of different antioxidants and tyrosinase inhibitors, such as serums containing kojic acid, azelaic acid, tranexamic acid, astaxanthin with vitamin C, glutathione, alpha-arbutin, niacinamide. There's a whole combination of things, and everybody responds to these different skin lighteners and brighteners differently. So you have to remember, hydroquinone is a tool, but the inflammation writes the script. So if you don't address the inflammation, the hyperpigmentation is going to circle around and come back. This is where you're just suppressing it safely and reducing that inflammation. So if you've already done this, this already sounds familiar, and you are looking to treat your age spots, hyperpigmentation, or melasma without the use of topical medication, I will leave links below for more information on the treatments, on the specific treatment protocol for you. And that is why makeup is an art, skincare is a science, and we'll see you in the next video.